Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with Bulldog women's basketball. I'm joined by head coach Kurt Westendorp. Coach, welcome to the show.
Glad to be back.
Obviously, kind of like the men's team that we just talked with, a new season here, another opportunity here for your team going into the GLIAC Tournament.
Yeah, everybody starts 0-0. You get to start fresh. You get to play an opponent that you've already played twice. So you got really a lot of familiarity with Wisconsin Parkside, where we're going, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Obviously, being on the road here in the first round of the conference tournament, kind of got to play your way into the semifinals and having a chance maybe to come back to West Michigan. Yeah,
it's not really ideal having to go on the road, being the 6th seed, but we were, one game off of having a chance to be the 4th seed with how bunched up the GLIAC is. Last year we were the 2 seed and we could have been the 7 seed. Everything's just really jam-packed in our league with the talent. But once you're in the tournament, you can pretty much erase the numbers beside, the names for the rankings, and we got an opportunity to go get a win. And if we get a win, we know that most likely we'll be playing back here, but, it's a conference tournament, it's March, anything can happen, so you would assume that we'd be back here at Grand Valley over the weekend if we get the win, but stranger things could happen, and that's why they call it March Madness.
As we go to the highlights, you wrapped up the regular season this past week, and on the road Thursday night against Davenport, and Davenport team may be a little better than maybe their record would indicate.
Yeah, they're a scrappy bunch. They do a really good job of, just really moving well without the basketball. They swung the ball well in that first half. They gave us a little bit of fits there in the first half, and they're a team that, they're fighting for every game that they get, the opportunity for them to potentially not make the conference tournament, but they're trying to put things on tape for their coach for next year. You're trying to go into their off season with a little bit of momentum, and they played really well in that first half. Real low scoring first quarter here. I feel like we didn't play all that bad. We just shot the ball very poorly in that first half. I think we were 3 for 17 from 3. It just took us a while to really get things going. I think this is one of the 3 right here, because we really moved the ball all right. We got a lot of the shots that we were really looking for. Maybe a little bit lax on the defensive end. We wanted to take more tough shots like that one right there. You're seeing J.C. Walker knock down. But, we kept our head above water. We didn't really play a great half, but it was still, even or about a 1-point game going into the break. So we really set ourselves up all right without shooting the ball well to still be right in the game.
Obviously, as we get ready to go to the second half highlights here shortly, you certainly did a much better job shooting the basketball in the second half, finished by making 11 threes here in the ballgame.
Yeah, water kind of finds its level, we say. So we shot, I think, 17% in that first half and then shot 50% from 3 in the second. And most of these, as you're seeing, they come from really, really good ball movement. I think all of them were kind of made the extra pass, your transition, finding Mal, and they're not quite matched up yet. Again, moving the ball to Chloe, being a little bit of matchup nightmare, being able to step it out. Again, in transition here, finding Mia. It became a barrage there real quick in the middle to end of that third quarter to give us that 11-point cushion. And then we played really comfortable here in the fourth quarter. They didn't go away. They made a couple shots here to make it a little bit tough on us, but then Kenzie kind of slammed the door on them here down the stretch. Defensively, we played a really good fourth quarter. You see him hitting a couple shots here, but for the most part, the fourth quarter was our best defensive quarter. And then we really just kind of rode the momentum of some hot shooting there. You see Kenzie knocking him down again. When she's hitting from the outside, we're a really tough team to guard.
Obviously, you shared the ball well in that game, and one of the players that shared the ball well, Mallory McCartney, became the school's all-time career assist leader.
Yeah, it was a special day for her to get that record, to get it done in 4 years. A lot of the school records around the country are going to be broken in a lot of areas because of the extra year because of COVID, but she did it in the true 4 years. And she's just such a great teammate. She sees the floor so well. She's such a high IQ basketball player that we can count on her. When people are coming open, she's going to find them. And she just brings the team a sense of calm. When the ball is in her hands, there's a sense of calm that we know we're going to make good decisions, because not only does she lead, the Ferris State record books now in assists, but she leads the entire country in assist to turnover ratio. So it's not just high risk plays with a lot of turnovers going with it, but she really kind of calms our team down and gets our players the ball in positions where they can be successful.
Obviously, you get the win over Davenport. You had to turn right back around and take on one of the top teams in the country in Grand Valley State, but a place where you guys had some success last year winning the GLIAC Tournament.
Yeah, we talked in the locker room. We were riding a 2-game winning streak in that building, winning the GLIAC semifinals and finals. So I feel like we have good vibes in that building. I feel like we always play very hard. It's always a huge game. No matter what, if you're locked into your seating or not locked into your seating, it doesn't really matter. When these two teams play, I feel like they really get up for us. I know we really get up for them, which is how it should be. It was an excellent battle. Early on, it was a defensive, kind of a defensive slugfest there in that first quarter. It was really tough for either team to get things going offensively. They scored late there at the buzzer to kind of get above double figures. But we knew it was going to be a kind of a knockdown, drag-out fight because they're one of the best defensive teams in the country. That's kind of what they have their calling card. And we just couldn't quite get couldn't quite get enough stops and get enough rebounds. They really did a great job, like you're seeing right here. Most of the buckets that you're seeing them getting, they're in the paint. You know, they did an excellent job of getting it inside, whether it was off the first shot or off the offensive rebound. You know, they only hit a few from the outside. There's Ellie Drosty knocking down one to kind of give them a little bit of cushion going into the half. But all in all, I love the fight of our team. We just didn't quite piece together our A game, which we needed to beat a really good team.
Obviously, Grand Valley, one of those teams that presents some challenges for a lot of teams in terms of their size and their length.
Oh yeah, defensively, that they can cover everywhere. You know, they do a great job because everybody can pretty much guard inside and out. You know, and that felt like they did a nice job making a concerted effort to get the ball inside, because they definitely have a size advantage on not just us, but really most of the league, other than, you know, against Northern Michigan. So they did an excellent job, you know, in that fourth quarter here. They were kind of spreading us out once we went zone. You know, once we're back man, they're really able to, again, keep attacking the paint. You know, they did a great job of just kind of putting their players in the positions to be successful. And we got to have more plays like that, like you just saw Kenzie right there. Really take it to them and be more aggressive against their defense. That's one thing that I felt like in the game at our place. We really got downhill a lot better. We were able to score 70 points against them at our place. And you see they held us to 55 at theirs. You know, I thought that was one of the bigger differences, is us just not quite being as aggressive as we needed to be.
Obviously, you head into the conference tournament now this week. You mentioned at Parkside, and a team that you saw a couple times this year, and they're a good basketball team that you'll face here in the quarterfinal round. Yeah, they really had a great run through the GLIAC. You know, they dropped quite a few of their non-league games early in the season, but then they really got hot once they hit the league. So they were 13-5 throughout the league. You know, they beat us twice. You know, both games were kind of high-scoring first halves, and the defenses settled in a little bit in the second half. But we got to make sure that we're able to play 40 minutes of defense. You know, this is a team that they're going to score. They got the reigning player of the year in Alyssa Nelson, who's got a good chance to be player of the year again this year. You know, we got to do a great job on the defensive end. Hopefully make this game maybe a little bit lower scoring early on, make it more like the Grand Valley game where it's a little bit more defense oriented, and then make enough shots and get that momentum, because like you said, in March, anybody can get hot, and it's a one-game season. Obviously, you guys got hot last year, won the GLIAC Tournament Championship. How much do you rely on some of those kids that went through that a year ago? Well, we know we can do it. You know, a lot of times when you haven't done something before, it's just kind of something that you say that you believe that you can do, and then once you've actually accomplished it, it's like, oh no, you know exactly what it took to get there, because it was not an easy 3-game run by any stretch. You know, the game here against Saginaw in the quarterfinals, a knockdown, drag-out fight until about 4 minutes to go in the game, and we pulled away. You know, the GLIAC semifinal, we were behind by 15 points at halftime and came back and got that win. You know, and then we kind of beat a team in the championship game that had beaten us twice in the regular season. So none of those things are easy, but they're things that if you believe in what you're doing, if you have that belief in your teammates, which we have, you know, you just got to string together 3 great games of basketball. So it's not easy, but you know, that's what makes it so fun, is doing hard things together. So we can't wait for the challenge. Well, Coach, thanks for the time, and best of luck here in the GLIAC quarterfinals. All right, looking forward to it. We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.